Prince William has flown to the United Arab Emirates to pay respects on behalf of the Queen and royal family after the death of the country's president. Prince William visited the Arab country to pay condolences on the death of His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan. The Duke, 39, has met with new ruler His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan to pay his respects. The Duke has stepped up to represent the Queen, who has missed a number of state occasions due to episodic mobility. Senior royals have been filling in for the monarch, who celebrates her Platinum Jubilee this year. Prince Charles represented the Queen at the state opening of Parliament last. World leaders descended on the UAE on Sunday to offer condolences to new leader Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan on the death of his half-brother. Sheikh Mohammed had steered the Western Allied Gulf state, OPEC oil producer and regional business hub for years before being named the UAE's third president by a federal Supreme Council on Saturday. William was one of several significant figures to visit the UAE. Israel's President Isaac Herzog said before heading to the Emirati capital that the establishment of ties between the UAE and his country 2 years ago was an asset for the whole region, built by bold and groundbreaking. The UAE, along with Bahrain, upended decades of Arab consensus by forging links with Israel, creating a new anti-Iran axis in the region and provoking Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas traveled to the UAE to offer his condolences, while Prime Minister Boris Johnson was also due in Abu Dhabi on Sunday. Sheikh Khalifa, a pro-Western modernizer who aligned the Gulf Arab state closer to the United States and its allies, died on Friday. The Ministry of Presidential Affairs announced the death of the Sheikh, who was also ruler of the UAE's richest emirate, Abu Dhabi, but gave no details. Born in 1948, Sheikh Khalifa had rarely been seen in public since suffering a stroke he was buried and funeral prayers were held on Friday, state news agency WAM said. His half-brother and Abu Dhabi Crown Prince Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed said on Twitter, "The UAE has lost its righteous son and leader of the empowerment phase and guardian of its." News of William's visit to the UAE comes after the Queen was honored with a standing ovation as her Platinum Jubilee celebrations kicked off with a star-studded equestrian extravaganza featuring some of the world's leading performers. Hollywood stars Tom Cruise and Dame Helen Mirren led the cast of entertainers who appeared in the first major event marking the sovereign's 70-year reign. Audience members rose to their feet to applaud and cheer when the Queen arrived at the arena near Windsor Castle for the musical and theatrical romp across the centuries called A Gallop Through History. The event was staged by the Royal Windsor Horse Show, which has been welcoming spectators for the past 3 days, including the Queen, who spent part of Friday touring the showgrounds after earlier missing the state opening. The Queen clearly enjoyed the show, and at its finale, when her own horses and ponies were led around the open-air arena, appeared enthralled, beaming as the animals paraded past the royal box. Omid Jalili, who narrated the event, joked with the monarch, "Thank you for choosing us over the state opening of Parliament." Dame Helen gave a heartfelt tribute to the Queen, telling the head of state, "For all these years you have carried our nation. You have been at its heart, its drumbeat. You have given us purpose, and when situations have been challenging, your hope, guidance and leadership have been unswerving. I address you on behalf of all your loyal subjects. We commend and admire the way that you carry out the affairs of state with such dexterity, and I therefore speak on behalf of a grateful nation and Commonwealth when I give you our sincere and most loving thanks." Despite the ongoing mobility issues, the Queen walked to her seat in the royal box after she was driven into the castle arena escorted by mounted divisions of the household. She was joined by the Earl and Countess of Wessex for the show that reflected her lifelong passion. A tri-service guard of honor featuring the Coldstream Guards, RAF Regiment and Royal Navy was in place for the Queen's arrival, which was signaled by the national anthem being played by military. Among the celebrities taking part in the show were Damian Lewis and Catherine Jenkins, an all-star cast of British and international talent for Sunday's performance, which was broadcast live by